Let's get started with our legal news section.
Mm.
First, we have U.S. man sues Powerball lottery after being told he's a $340 million winner.
Yeah, his name is John Cheeks. He's not related to Sandy, so any SpongeBob fans, I'm sorry about that.
This guy buys a lotto ticket, goes online to the Powerball website in Washington, D.C., and he sees his winning numbers. He must have been ecstatic.
Probably, yeah.
So he takes his winning ticket after seeing the numbers on the website, goes to the lotto clerk or calls the lotto commissioner, whatever it is, and he says, "Hey, I've won." And she says, "All right, there was a mistake. The ticket's worthless. Throw it in the trash." Apparently what happened is the lotto commissioner, whoever it is that runs the lottery, hired a tech company, consulting company, and they were doing work on the website or work on their back-end software, and they published his numbers as a mistake. So he's heartbroken, obviously. You would be devastated.
Absolutely. I'm definitely the kind of person that plays the lotto quite frequently, so I would be quite devastated.
If you won that lotto, if you won $340 million, would you call Chris or me or the Silverman Law Firm up and would you resign?
No, but I would call you to help me do what I need to do with managing money.
All right, so I'm holding you to that. If you ever win the lottery, you're going to stick around and you're going to keep grinding it out as a lawyer.
Absolutely.
He gets an attorney, files a lawsuit for breach of contract, saying, "Hey, I bought the lottery ticket. We had a contract. You published the numbers. You owe me the money." What do you think of that case?
I think it is a terrible case.
Really? Why don't you like it? What are the elements of breach of contract?
The existence of a duty between the two created by the contract, there has to be the breach, and then the breach has leads damages. Now the contract exists, right? Because that's when he purchases the ticket, right?
We have the existence of a contract. You walk in, you buy the lotto ticket. If you win, you get the money. That's the contract.
Yes.
All right, so you've got a contract.
Yeah,
Where's the breach?
This is where it gets really dicey because I'm almost certain that the language of that contract, the fine print on that lotto ticket, does not say, if we publish your number on our website, then we are contractually obligated to give you $340 million or however much money is in the lottery at that time. I'm sure there's something in there about mistake numbers or that it actually needs to be the numbers that were pooled and that there can be failures of their online system. I'm certain that there's some disclaimer there in there about that.
I think it's more simple than that. The contract when you buy a lotto ticket is you have to win. And he just didn't win. Run-of-the-mill mistakes are allowed. They don't rise to the level of contractual breach.
And a much better scenario, though, for Mr. Cheeks would be if he was told that he won this and then he went out and bought a house or something like that, right? That he can't afford, right? He goes out and he buys that thinking that he won this money that he's going to use to pay for it later. But then they say, oh, actually, no, that's wrong. At that point, then he would have reliance. And so he might have a claim there. But as of now, I don't see anything close to that in this lawsuit.
We'll see where that case goes. Moving along to FuboTV, ESPN, Fox, Warner Brothers, they have all gotten together and they've said, we're going to combine all of our sports licensing and we're going to offer a streaming service. That's a big deal. Meanwhile, that same day, Fubo stocks crashes. The Fubo executives decide to bring an antitrust lawsuit against the big sports players. These big companies are subject to the antitrust laws. Here's a good example. Google, Microsoft, and Apple could never be allowed to merge. You can't take the three big companies that produce the operating systems for 99.9% of all devices and say they're going to be one company. That's clearly anti-competitive. Fubo's argument is you can't take the three or four biggest sports companies or that have the biggest rights to sports, put them together. Does that argument work? We'll see how that case goes. We'll keep everybody updated. Next case on the docket, biotech executives battle with insider trading executives. This one executive is being accused of shadow insider trading. Have you ever heard of that, or do you know what that is?
As we said earlier, I thought it had to do with ninjas. So no, I've not heard of shadow insider trading.
I didn't know what shadow insider trading was until I looked up did the research, read the article. There isn't actually a statutory definition of that. we've relied on the courts generally to tell us what insider trading is.
Mm.
So this case, what's going on here, this is a first that's going before the courts, is there's a guy working at a pharmaceutical company, and it's a relatively small company. He's an executive. Pfizer decides they want to buy his pharmaceutical company, which is fine. He knows that he absolutely can't trade on that information. He can't, knowing that Pfizer is going to buy it, he can't all of a sudden acquire more shares of his own company. So what his smart idea is, I know if Pfizer is going to buy my company, stock is going to shoot up, but that's also going to make my competitor's company shoot up that does the same thing as I do, because the market's going to recognize that there's value in what I'm doing. And then therefore my competitor might also be an acquisition target.
And
So he trades a bunch of options, or he actually bought the stock, whatever he did, of the competing company. And then sure enough, when the Pfizer announcement hits, those option contracts go up in value, or the underlying stock goes up in value. He makes a lot of money and he gets hit with an insider trading allegation. Should that be allowed?
I don't think you should be able to go around the laws on insider trading by not buying stock of your own company, but just buying stock of the other company that's going to increase in value. I think it's the same thing. So if we're going to regulate one, I think the other should be regulated too.
You've got some insider information. It's not inside to your organization, but it is inside. The average person could not trade on that. Sounds like insider trading. We'll see how that case comes out.